Hello and welcome to my channel, Shine Star Collections. And today I decided to do something new. So I will probably be doing a first anniversary channel, something or other. Meantime, I did get this idea from another YouTuber. I will put their name up here on the screen. They went through a collection goals. They had wrote down some collection goals that they had at the beginning of the year. I did not do that. But I just kind of set in my head what I wanted to do. They went back through them last month sometime and went back to see if they actually went through, they felt if they actually followed the goals that they had set out for themselves at the beginning. And I thought, wow, that's great. I'm going to try that. So I wrote, reached out to the YouTuber and asked them, was it okay to borrow their idea? And they said, sure. And I'm going to make sure that I give them credit. But yeah, I just thought it was a great idea because I do kind of need to set some goals, or even, I should say, even boundaries for myself for the rest of the year. I know what I've tried to do is try to figure out the perfect formula to not spend as much money. It hasn't worked. Everything I've tried to do hasn't exactly worked, especially since ATs. So ATs has a ton of cards, as we all know. They actually increased the amount of cards that they had from the last era and even world era. There's actually, to be completely honest, there are less POBs or pobs from outlaw era as opposed to world era, but it's not by much. It's probably by maybe 10 less, and I think the reason why is because we have the platform cards and we have the pack cards. But I think I counted something, I'll put the number up there of how many cards it is total, and to collect OT8 for the album cards, the platform cards, and for the digipack cards is an insane number of over 200. I will put the exact number up there, number that I'm shooting for, because unfortunately I decided to try to collect all of them. I have decided I am not going to do that again. And the biggest reason why is because the platform cards and the been harder to get than what I thought for San. San's platform cards are even ridiculously priced on Yokio. If I've paid the $10 for, the platforms, for the platform cards itself, where it was, 6 cards, and then you got the QR code, and then you got 3 other cards. You got 10 cards total. I happened to catch the sale where it was $7 a piece from K-Town. So now you're asking me to pay $15 on Yokio or on Mercari for San's card because, he's got heart cheeks or the heart nose or whatever card. Or the card where they have the coat over their heads and they're using it as a blanket. I mean, everybody wants those cards. So, and that's great. KQ, like I said, did a great job of cards this year. The amount of cards is insane, but the actual cards themselves are gorgeous. I love concept cards, so I am very happy with the 6. So you got that 6 set, you got all 6 cards. You got a QR card, but they gave us 3 different QR cards, which wasn't necessary because it's actually been hard to find all of them. I think I finally found all of them because I grabbed 2 last night. But I still need 7 platform cards to finish out the platform set, and 3 of them are Sans rating. So, but this is not fully about ATs. I mean, as you know, I collect AT's Psychers now has been added to the bunch. Last, which is you know, they're not really active. They're active, but they're not releasing anything right now, so that's kind of good. I also collect Kingdom, but I only collect 4 members of Kingdom. That won't change. Finishing Kingdom, by the way, because I'm finally getting that last card that I needed. I think most of my PC goals are really towards ATs at this point. And also my K-pop albums. Now, actually, when I did my last video, I was talking about just doing small albums for mostly everybody except for ATs and probably One Us. Honestly, I think I'm just going to pick and choose. ATs all the time is going to get, you know, where I'm going to have all their albums. Like, I'm going to buy every version. I'm going to try to buy less versions. So we'll make that number 1. My handwriting is horrible, but I'm going to be as careful as I can so that it can be legible for you guys. Buy less albums. So we're going to put in parentheses ATZ for ATs. So basically what that means is I do like to buy a lot of albums because I like to pick up the cards. Since I'm an OTA album card collector, I do like to pick up a lot of albums. In all honesty, I did do less albums this time around. I only did 16 because in other eras I've done, like World Era, I think I picked up almost 30, and the same thing with like Fever 3, I think I picked up about 30. I did 16, but I also did 10 digipacks. So just trying to get those digipack cards. So I'm just not going to do that anymore. So buy less albums, especially for ATs. Number 2, I am by, so we'll say platform or polka for everyone except ETs, Psychers, and One Us. The reason why I added One Us on there is because despite the fact that I cannot stand RBW, I still want to support the other members of One Us as much as I possibly can. Not buy all the versions of, Pygmalion. Pygmalion, I played One Us today, so I had Malice in the Brain. Pygmalion, I bought one version, and I bought Lito's jewel case. So that's probably what I'm going to do from now on, is buy one version. If they're going to continue to do jewel cases for all the members, I'll just buy Ito's and that'll be it. Tigers, of course, they're my new babies, so I'm going to buy, so hopefully they'll just continue to do just 2 versions and not try to do what their big brothers do, which is do 3. I do want to continue to buy both of Tigers versions. And then, of course, with ATs, I'm going to be buying all their versions. Just going to buy less of them. I am going to kind of pick and choose because if you saw my last haul, you saw that I bought Shonu Hyungwon. I do want the bigger books, but I'm going to hold off and not buy them. I did watch an unboxing and kind of made me want them, but I'm like, where am I going to put them? And then I am going to buy albums because it says solo, so I definitely want to buy those. B's coming out with the repackage, so I probably will buy both of those. I'm going to be really choosy, so I probably should say also be really choosy. Be choosy with what you buy. Boys just came out. Honestly, I'm not crazy about the album itself, but I really want to buy at least one version of the Boys album because I do love them, and I'll buy at least one version. So yeah, So be choosy. So buy a platform, Polka for everyone except AT. Psychers want us to be choosy with what you buy. And then, of course, number one, still buy less albums from ATs. 3. Let's talk about photo cards for number 3. Album cards. From main biases only. Limit pobs and OT sets. Okay, what I mean by that is that for ATs I collect the album cards. I want to continue to collect OTA album cards. I want to continue to do that. For Elas, if Elas ever comes out with another album, I will go ahead and probably not buy the album itself. When it comes out, I would probably buy somebody's resale copy just to have it, and then try to catch up with the cards later on, as I do not want to give any money to that company. Main biases only: Liquid Kingdom. I have 4 biases. I have Dan, Louis, Mujin, and Jahan. So I will keep to just buying their 4 cards. Pobs and OT sets. I actually did I did pretty good on the pobs, actually. I still spent too much money. I didn't even get all the pobs. That's what's crazy about it. Like, I pretty much only collected, like, say, the pre-order pobs. And I think I got round 1 of Make Star, and I think I got round 2 of Soundwave, and then that was it. Then recently I picked up lucky draw cards and stuff. So I did tell myself that I was gonna just try to stick to like the special cards, like the lucky draw cards, because they are hard to come by sometimes, and they're kind of expensive, especially for Sunghwa. I really want to stick to the main biases only. So main biases only meaning Sunghwa and Yosan. I collect a couple from my other biases, like Jongho from my bias line and Yoonho. I want to put in there also utilize Neokyo more, which I already kind of do. I believe that instead of, it does say more, it's a little messed up. I want to continue to pick up cards on the Okio because usually they're cheaper, not all the time, but usually they are cheaper. But just be really patient with, and that should be probably number 4, be patient. Be more patient waiting for more patient for prices to drop. So I definitely want to be more patient for prices to drop on Neokyo or Macari US or whatever. It's become a pain to do trading on Instagram, but as I've mentioned, I am in a trading group that someone put together here in Chicago. So it does help to like talk to people. Group. I also still have my chat friends and trade as much anymore because Jess has been doing the goes. We still, from time to time, we'll still trade stuff or sell stuff to each other. So that's pretty good too. I think that what my thing is that goes is a problem. So let's put number 5, join less goes. Like we were discussing in our group chat, not the Chicago group chat, but my friends group chat, about how hard it is to collect ATs and how hard it is to, how expensive it is to be like member claim. That's what I'm trying to get out. do member claims, because member claims are pretty expensive, especially since they drop so many pobs. Really hard to try to keep up with those, especially if you are in a go with a manager who does not allow you to skip some of them. Some of them don't, which I kind of understand because they don't want to be stuck with the cards. At the same time, it can be very, very expensive. So yeah, I'm gonna try to join. I guess I didn't do horribly, but still too much. So if that makes sense. The cards on the Yokio, as you will probably see this before you see the shop with me. Is my shop with me? I really have to go through it and edit it. But the cards on the Yokio, the same cards that you probably claimed for $10 or $15. Some of them are $9, $8, $5. So you just really have to be patient. And the time that you've waited for the go order, those cards would have went down to $5, depending on what they are. Is it going to be a lucky draw? Most likely it won't be, just depending on the member. Sungwa, I'm a Sungwa collector, so of course a lot of his cards will not go down that low, especially if it's a lucky draw. Depending on what card it is, I mean, there's one particular card. This particular card is on the Yokio and it's less than $10. And it is, I believe, the with Moo lucky draw, so you will find some of them. You might even find some of them on Mercari US, like the lovely card that I got for wine card. What do they call it? Do they call it the wine card? I don't remember. It's a card where they have the wine glass and it looks like it's wine in it. Some of us were laughing and thinking it was pop or something. Those cards on the Yokio, ridiculous. Like, I think the lowest one I saw was somewhere in the 60s. The highest one I saw was between Sungwa and Sans. Sungwa's being like 160 something and Sans being almost 180 or 170 or something. That's too much. I mean, for special cards like that, it's good to join goes, but just be really selective. Consent, parentheses rather. Be selective. So be more selective of, some of the cards that I join go orders for. Some of them, like B stage rather, we didn't know what the cards were going to look like. Those are absolutely cute. Those are the ones that they're blowing bubbles in. They look adorable. There's also some of them where I probably could have waited until later. Like usually, Yes 24 cards are kind of hard to find, but I've seen the Yes 24 cards for even Sunwa $20. It's a crapshoot, definitely. But just know, I think the biggest thing, and I just put this in here, is just keep in mind you do not need every card. Or I just put or album too, because I pay for Spotify. I pay $17 a month for Spotify. So not need, even if they're the group I really love, do not need every card or album. Now that's very hard to say when you have says like, say I am from Monsta X, or a full Monsta X fan. I wanted everybody's solos, so I bought both of Keegan's solos. I bought, I Am solo. I bought You Honey. And of course I bought Hyungwon and Shonu. But I didn't buy all the versions. So that's another thing. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here. I think number 6 is really more of a mantra than a goal. Just saying that you really, do not need to buy every single thing. I heard somebody say, I forgot what YouTuber it was. It wasn't the same YouTuber that did this. Or it might have been. She might have said something like that. But I heard another YouTuber say that your collection is your own. Like, don't compare your collection to mine or anybody else's. Like, if you decided that all you're going to do is collect all of Sungwa and Yosan's album cards, and you're not going to collect anything else, it's still a collection regardless. If you decide you're going to buy one album and all you're going to keep is your pulls, that's still a collection. So don't compare your collections to anybody else's. Like, you can be kind of envious or whatever you want. Be envious of me with Big Ben and my 100 other binders over here, but it's because of the money and the time that I spent on it that I wanted to spend on it. But now I need to reel it back a little bit, and that's the reason why I'm doing this, is because even though I love all my groups, I just can't collect everything for all my groups. And so, that's important to keep in mind. So that last one, like I said, is more of a mantra. Just, don't be so fixated on getting particular cards or albums or whatever. Be there, you'll be able to get them. Like my good little Sungwa card from Deja Vu era, I just got it. Like, Deja Vu came out in 2021. Card. Beautiful music card that I had been looking for, that had been on sale for $120, $100, whatever. I got it for 25 bucks. So you do not need to get every card right away. I like to at least finish all the album cards before an end of era, but as it looks right now, I'm not sure that I'll get some of these platform cards. I might be waiting until the end of this year for some of these cards. Thankfully, I don't have that many left to get, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm going to keep that in mind for myself, even that, once I start storing cards and everything, I go back and try to look for them. Wish that I could collect ATs like I collect everybody else. Pretty much how I collect, like, say, Kingdom. I collect the 4 members, and I only collect the album cards. And I've started looking at, Bs for them, but I don't need every POB. I'm not looking at templates or anything. With ATs, I'm so used to looking at templates that I can't not look at them and see, oh my goodness, I need this, and this. Also decided that, as we know, World Era, that they did lots of cards where they're wearing the same clothes. So even if Yosan is turning his head one way and he has the same clothes on another card, and he's turning his head the other way and has a peace sign up, I don't need both those cards. So I am being selective even with Yosan. I'm still to be fully collecting his Korean cards, and I have to keep saying that because I have been saying I'm fully collecting Yosan. I'm not. I am fully collecting his Korean cards. But this era, I am being very selective as to what cards I get for him even. Like I said, there's 5 or 6 cards where just different fingers and a different pose, and that's it. We all know that's what happened with World Era. That's what everybody does, so AT's not the only group that does that. Yeah. So there we go. So these are my goals for this, the rest of this year. ATs might not have a comeback for this rest of this year. I doubt it, actually. I really do think they're going to probably do another spin-off album by the end of the year. And they're surely going to have probably another Japanese comeback at some point. I don't ever buy all the Japanese albums, so that's actually not a problem. Actually, I didn't even buy Paradigm until I started chasing all the cards. And the same thing with Limitless. I didn't buy Limitless albums either until I started grabbing cards. I did not grab that many. So actually the Japanese comeback, I do great. It's just the Korean comeback. So yes, that's where I am. So we're going to check on these goals later on and see how I did. What are your thoughts? Let me know. For some of you collectors, if you have collection goals, please share them with me. If you have any great ideas or tips for me, because I'm always willing to take suggestions as far as, like, what you guys do with your collections, and if you have extra ideas that work for you, especially ATs collectors, please help. Please help and tell me what you do. What is your things that you do. If you have any wisdom for me, please share it. Okay? To how you collect ATs. It is going to be a problem because I am so deep into the ATs hole. I'm literally drowning in the ATs hole that it's going to be hard to say no to things. And it has been hard to say no to things, but they just release and drop so much. And I know the KQ is doing what they can to survive. They are a smaller company. They are not SM. They are not Big Hit or Lyft or Hive or whatever it's called today. They're not those companies. And I know that they are releasing what they can because they have 18 young men to take care of and plenty of staff. So I do get that. They need to pay people. I get it. But they are dropping way so much and I just can't keep up. I can't keep up. I want to support my guys. I want to support all 18 of them. But I do not want to go to the poorhouse doing it. So if you have anything to share, please do. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and thank you so much to the YouTuber who came up with the idea. I will put their handle there again. I will even link the video in the description of what they did for their goals, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to try to keep up with this, and we'll look at this again in December. As I said, one last thing. I do have my anniversary coming up. I think it said I started my channel on October 5th, I think. So I will try to come up with something interesting to do for my anniversary. I'm not sure if I might do a binder, an all binder flip through, possibly. Or just at least all the main binders. I'm not pulling out that huge binder again. That's not happening. Give me some ideas for that too. If you guys have any ideas of things you want to see from me, what you would like me to do for my anniversary. My anniversary is, like I said, I think October 5th was right before Jung Ho's birthday. And I am actually doing a cup sleeve for Jung Ho's birthday. So I'm pretty excited about that. Tell me what you want me to do on the channel. What would be more interesting? Give me some thoughts and comments about what you think I should do for my anniversary. Do like a giveaway or something maybe. I'm almost to 50 subscribers. So I'm really excited about that because I really haven't too much, asked for subscribers. I do it at the end, but again, I just do this because I like to share my collection. So get any money for this. I don't have any sponsorships or anything like that. I pretty much just do it for fun. It's a great hobby. It's just a very expensive hobby. So again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Like and subscribe if you want to, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. And hello, Editing Shar here. This video that I just recorded was supposed to explain a couple of things. One, for me to hold myself accountable, and two, also to kind of give a tutorial to newer collectors. However, in the midst of doing so, I think that I might have discouraged collectors from collecting, say, ATs or another group like ATs that drops a lot of merchandise or photo cards. That was not my intention, so I apologize. I think the biggest thing that you must remember in being a PC collector is number 6 that I had on my list, which is that you do not need everything. You do not need every PC, and you do not need every album. And also in the video, I mentioned how someone said your collection is your own and don't compare your collections to anyone else. I really try hard to do things the way I want to do them because I do love collecting, and sometimes that might get out of hand for one reason or another. And I didn't want to make this video solely because I wanted to save money. That is a big part. But also because I've actually talked about this with other collectors who are not YouTubers, and they're friends in my group chat, and we have talked about how sometimes it can get kind of overwhelming to continue to try to grab cards from, say, ATs or whatever, because they drop so much merchandise. But really, it's purely for joy, honestly. It's not only because we love photo card collecting and we love K-pop albums, it's also because we really love the band. But you do not need to collect everything to show your love for a group. So just keep that in mind. So I really hope that I didn't discourage anyone watching this video. It, like I said, was to hold myself accountable, but also to help other people. Maybe if they have questions about collecting, or they are looking forward to collecting but just needed a little bit of guidance, I hope that maybe it did help in some ways. But again, I did not want to discourage anyone. That was not my intention. And again, it is solely not about money. It is also because when you have albums stacking up in your house and you don't know what to do with them, that's the other thing. I'm never going to throw any albums away. So that's the other thing. But if you have any questions or comments or anything, please leave them in the comments of this video or any other video. I would love to help any of the new collectors out with anything I know. And if you have any suggestions for me, as I already said, please leave them in the comments as well. But I want to thank you for watching this video again. And like I said, this was mostly for me, but I hope it did help and not discourage anyone. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.